Okay, so hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Shaquita Double, and today I have the honor of speaking with one of Malaysia's best badminton players, Shevon Lai. So welcome,
Hi.
Shevon.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. And for those who may not know Shevon, so to sum up some of Shevon's accolades, she's currently number 12 on the world rankings in mixed doubles, along with her partner, Go Soon Hwat. She holds many titles, including the 2018 German and Singapore Open, and also has a lot of podium finishes, including the Korea Masters 2019, Southeast Asian Games, Malaysia Masters, Thailand Masters, and yeah, that's just to sum up a few of them. So, did I get those right?
Yes, correct. You got them right.
Just to sort of break the ice, since we haven't met before, are you willing to play a short rapid fire game?
Okay.
Okay. So, do you prefer cardio or weights?
Weights.
Footwork or multi?
Multi.
Favorite tournament so far you've played in?
All England.
Do you prefer coffee or tea?
Tea.
Favorite movie?
Fast and Furious.
Good one. Favorite junk food?
Popcorn? Is that a junk food? And yeah, I think popcorn.
Do you prefer texting or calling?
Texting.
And last one, if you had no fears for a day, what would you do?
I think I'll go bungee jumping.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, so far every single person I've asked that question has said the exact same thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Hey, everyone
Probably
has a fear
I'm
of
a little bit.
heights.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, so now we're just gonna jump into like the lighter parts of the conversation.
Okay.
Yeah, with starting off with your background. So now we're gonna jump right in a bit into your background. So
Okay.
you can probably tell us a bit about your badminton story, like how you got started and that kind of thing.
Okay, so I started badminton because my entire family plays. My parents, they are coaches, but not in national or national level. They coach usually young children. And then my brother was an ex-national player. So I started at very young age, around 7. They used to like bring me to badminton courts to play together with them, and they coached me. So I started having more interest when my brother, he was winning a lot of medals at tournaments. So I am very proud whenever I see him get the medals, and then I would want to hold those medals. So slowly I started to have this passion for badminton. And then I went on to primary school, got selected, and then started my career in the national team in my secondary school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's how I started the whole badminton career.
Okay. And I'm not too familiar with, Malaysia's setup. So what is that process like, being sort of drafted into the national team?
Okay, so the most basic ones are we have a kind of like a selection, a trial for players who are 12 years old every year. In Malaysia, we have 13 states. So every state will have at least two representative.
Yeah.
And then we will get a selection, a trial, where the coaches will choose maybe 6 to 7 players from that team. And then those players will be in the sports school. There's a sports school for us.
Yeah.
And we will then start to play and train with national team. So that's how it goes. And when you finish secondary school, you will head on to the senior team, national team.
Oh, okay. And I saw that you brought up school. So in that scenario, was it difficult, balancing badminton and school, or did you focus mostly on badminton? Yeah.
It's difficult because I started early, so I've like kind of adjusted to that lifestyle much earlier. I started at like full training and studies at the age of 8. So it's like training, study all together in one day. And then when I got into sports school, it was actually tougher because training was more intense and studies were also more intense. So our schedule was like training like 6 in the morning until 8, and then school is at 9 until 2, and then training at 3 until 6, and then classes at 8 at night until 10. So it's like a full day for the whole week.
Wow.
So it's really, really, really tough that time. And then I finished my secondary school, my high school. After that, I continued on in university. I took a degree in university. Actually, in university, I find it much harder because, first of all, I was already in full-time training, like full focus in training. And study was like on my own time. There's no fixed schedule for us to study. So I have to like find my own time between trainings to go for my classes. And I was competing very, very frequently. So I missed classes like 2 to 3 weeks a month sometimes.
Yeah.
So it's like really hard to really hard to catch up with the classes. But I'm really thankful at that time my university did offer me like night classes, and also the lecturers and friends were like really helpful to help me have extra classes when I come back from tournament. Yeah, and my schedule that time was pretty much the same when I was in high school. So it was like morning training, afternoon class, training, and then class in the evening and night. Yeah. So actually to balance between studies and badminton, it's like if you are really a full-time badminton player, it's really tough, I would say.
Yeah. And I imagine that, with all those, intense days balancing work and badminton, did you struggle to keep that motivation up?
Actually, yeah. And many times I really wanted to like give up because I just couldn't catch up with studies, especially because my focus is like 100% in badminton.
Yeah.
And training, competing was just like so exhausting. And my studies, I had to like keep pushing myself to catch up with the rest of the class. So actually, I really, really did think of like giving up quite a number of times actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in those moments, what did you look to, to sort of keep that motivation up?
First of all, it's like my family, because since young, they have like, my parents especially, they have really like put in a lot of effort, time, and a lot of sacrifices to get me to where I am today. They are sacrificed to like bring me for trainings, fund me for tournaments and this and a lot of other things. And then second of all, is like, because I have a few other friends that are doing the exact same routine as I am.
Yeah.
So we kind of like encourage one another, like when they are down, and I will like speak to them, encourage them. And then when I'm in a difficult position, they will like speak to me and encourage me. So I think that that part like played a very big role to help me continue until today.
I imagine too in that time you probably looked up to a few people, whether it is in badminton or other sports or other aspects of life. So were there any persons that inspired you during that time and even now?
Actually, I don't have like a special idol, or if you were if you were to ask me like in badminton, yes, I do have someone. But if you were to say like a overall idol, I don't have like someone specific. It's like I just want to always challenge myself and like do better in everything I can.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's a good way to think of it.
Because I'm like I would say I'm more of a perfectionist. I want to like do everything like really perfectly, right on time, right on dot, and get like really prepared before everything. So I think that spirit has like drive me to be able to be where I am today.
Yeah, that's good. And in terms of, well, I guess now we can sort of jump into like the athletes' questions. You speaking on being a perfectionist and so on. Were there times that it probably didn't work out in your favor, like you have to put away that perfectionist mentality and focus on something else?
Actually, many times I've come across many situations that actually that has been my weakness, because especially in badminton, that it's good to be a perfectionist, but at the same time it can be also a very a bad effect on your career, because once things don't work out like you mentioned just now, and I'll get like really frustrated, very angry, and that will like cause even more negative effects on the situation. And also at times it makes you want to give up because you feel like you can't accomplish your expectations. So there's good and bad, of course, but I would say you have to like balance them both, and then it will work out to your advantage.
I think I'm the same way in terms of being a perfectionist, and it's like you expect things to go a certain way, but things you can't really control everything. And
yes, correct.
So
I mean, I like to like be prepared for everything before they happen, and when it doesn't work that way, like you get like really impacted when you're not prepared and thing. But I think in another way it helps, like it trains you to be more patient and to be more mature when you are facing this kind of situations where you are thrown into, you are not ready, and then you have to like improvise or let something go. So that part will like probably mold you into someone even more like mature, even more patient and calm in different situations.
And is there anything in particular when you're on court or in training that you do to sort of let go when you need to?
Yeah, actually, I've been facing this problem quite some time. I want to do every shot perfectly, and I tend to make a lot of mistakes, and I get very frustrated after that. So there's this thing that I've like trained myself in this past recent 2 years, because to compete at the highest level, it's just not only about perfecting the skills, but also like you being able to let go of your mistakes, not to like dwell on them. and every point is like it's just crucial. Every second of what you are thinking, your mindset is just very crucial for the game. So I've like been through experiences where I dwell on my mistakes, which I did not perfect, like my strokes, and then it caused me to like lose focus.
Yeah.
So I've lost the game. I've lost games because of this situation, this mindset. So this past 2 years, I've been like trying to change my mindset and the way I see and perceive things to be able to let go of them, and then that will help me like get better, not to lose my focus.
Yeah. And then to your specialty is in mixed doubles.
Mixed up.
Yeah. So is there ways that your partner probably helps you with that as well on court, or is it something that you like to work on by yourself?
He has actually like really helped me on this. Even though if you were to ask me, I said mixed doubles is one of the hardest
Yeah.
badminton events to play in, because it's a male and a female, where they, how do I say, the mindset, the thinking, everything is different.
Yeah.
A male will definitely not understand a female's mindset, and a female will definitely not understand the male's one. So actually, I'm quite, I would say, thankful that my partner is a very understanding person and a mature person. So in many ways, he has like helped me get through this problem. Like whenever I face this, he would be like constantly reminding me that, okay, you need to like get back into the game. You need to like just snap out of it, let go of this, and not like dwell on it too long.
Yeah.
It's okay. I mean, at times it's okay um, to like really think about your mistakes because you want to improve them.
Yeah.
But it depends on the situation that you're in at that moment. So sometimes we are not in that situation to dwell on it. So he will like explain to me and remind me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So actually, he has helped me a lot through this.
In terms of myself, I think that there are some situations where I probably need to really think it over, and you know, because I feel like if I move on too fast, I wouldn't really get the lesson out of it. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's all about finding that fine balance between,
Yes.
thinking and
Correct.
not
You're
overthinking.
correct.
Yeah.
Yes. It's really tough actually to say. It's much easier said than done.
Yeah.
Actually, it's like everyone will say, "Oh, you just have to like see it as take it positively and let it go and think." But at times when you have actually an expectation on yourself, you just
Yeah.
kind of like, I just have to get that right, and when you don't, you just get so frustrated inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you also face the difficulty of handling nerves or performance anxiety on court?
Definitely do, especially like when it's crucial matches or crucial points. I believe like everyone have their own challenges at this point. Um, Nervousness, anxiety, definitely.
Yeah.
Uh, Actually, I do like face them quite often because I'm a person that wants to be prepared for everything.
Yeah.
So the anxiety like kicks in all the time, like especially before tournaments. Yeah, even more so than maybe some other people.
And then too, you are competing at the highest levels as well, in super 500s, 750s, and so on. And I imagine it could probably be hard to to prepare for every single match perfectly. Do you have a specific routine to help, sort of calm down your nerves before you go on court?
Previously, I've tried the like breathing technique, which my psychologist recommended me to.
Yeah.
So it's like taking time before the match and like actually calming yourself, like getting to a quiet spot,
Yeah.
control your breathing, and then like calming your heart rate down, calming your mind down. It helps at times, but I wouldn't say 100% because just some matches are just like way too crucial. And uh, I mean, along the match, I do still get nervous and anxiety about it.
Yeah.
uh I would say like probably the mindset of how you want to like face that match would be a bigger help to help yourself. I mean, to calm down, to release those anxieties.
Yeah.
It's like how you choose to face that match, how you want to put your mindset to it.
Let's say you've lost a match where you think you played below average, or you've lost consecutive points or something like that. How do you deal with those situations, coming off the court? Are you the sort of person to, move on quickly? Or how do you deal with those situations?
I'm definitely not a person that move on quickly. Actually, I'm like totally the opposite. I get like really upset for quite a bit of time.
Yeah, me too.
A day or two, a week or two. Yeah, but my partner is like the total opposite of me.
Yeah.
Uh, I know that he's upset as well, that's for sure, but he's like the more positive mindset sort of person. So in that case, like in that situation, he helps me more. Like he gives me like very motivational talks. Like, yeah, everyone has their days that they do play like really shit games.
Yeah.
So you can't avoid that as players because this is like sports. It's not like something you can control every day. So
Yeah.
you just have to like be prepared to accept yourself on those days. Yeah, so I think like
Understand.
especially for like doubles, it will help more because when you have a partner that's supportive, it does
Yeah.
help. But if the partner is not supportive, then it might turn out really bad. But I would say
Yeah.
that the mindset is really important in this matter.
Yeah. And it's really good that you have that balance, having someone who who sees the situation a bit different, or more so handles it differently. And
Differently. Yep.
yeah, and is that something that, well, I'm not sure how it works in Malaysia, but is that something that the coaches look for when pairing the players together in the doubles categories?
Definitely, I think coaches would really like to have that between players. I mean, especially partners. But I don't think like it works for every pair, maybe. But
Yeah.
I've seen like if you are a top pair in the world, I mean, definitely there's some kind of like balance to that makes the partnership work.
Yeah.
And yeah, so for mine, I'm like I have a partner that's like really positive, and I'm like usually the negative one. So that strikes a balance
Yeah.
where I'm trying to like push everything perfectly, and then he's like trying to calm things down a bit. So like there's a balance between the both of us.
What are the qualities you've seen so far that makes a good mixed doubles partner? Let's say for the female player, and then, well, for the male.
I think especially for, in mixed doubles, the female, I think um, if she has like a very good front control
Yeah.
and a defense, that would like be a huge help to the male player, and she'll be able to like protect herself more because the opposite will definitely be attacking the female more often.
Yeah.
So her defense will be a very something very important for their match. I mean, for their game.
Yeah.
And then for the front court control, if she's able to like have very good front court controls, she will like actually help them the game, like to set up the game for the male to attack.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for the males part, I think to have a very good attacking and also court coverage for mixed doubles, because the male players are like playing more of the more percentage of the game. So their coverage is actually very important. The better ability for them to cover. So it will put the female in better position when they're playing against opponents.
Just out of curiosity, how did you make the decision to play mixed doubles?
Oh, okay. Actually, we all started, every one of us started off singles as a single player.
Yeah.
And then I moved on to women's doubles at the age of 15. Actually, it was like a decision from my coach, because he sees like me in having more potential in the doubles department. So I went on to women's doubles and had like a few good results in women's doubles at that time in the junior years.
Yeah.
But after that, one of my coaches actually thought that, okay, probably you can try in mixed doubles. So I was playing two actually. I was playing women's doubles and mixed doubles. So I was trying out both of them. And then I made the decision in the end to say that, okay, I want to focus in mix because I see myself doing better in mixed doubles rather than single women's doubles. So that's where I started playing mix. I started actually at the age of like 18.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What do you think is your favorite part of training and your least favorite part of training for mixed doubles?
I'll start with my least favorite part. Usually it's the running. Running is just no for me, but I have to do it. Like it's compulsory for me. Technically running and more of the physical trainings that I don't really like. Weights is okay. I mean, so far not too bad. But running, jumping, it's just I don't like them. My favorite part, I think, court training, match playing will be the best. Like because I really like enjoy the game, so match playing will be like something I always look forward to every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And well, before I started recording, you mentioned that you just came from training. So can you probably give a bit of insight into what your typical training day looks like?
Okay, so my day starts in the morning. I have to arrive at training center at 8 a.m., 8 in the morning. And then I usually train until around 11. That will be a court session. And then my evening session starts around 3 to 5 p.m. And that will be usually the physical training. It can be weights, it can be running, it can be jumping, it can be agility. And then some multiple trainings. So that's more or less my schedule. So just now I came back from weight training.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so my training today was court and then weights in the afternoon.
Oh,
and 5 days, 6 days a week. I have the weekends, Saturday is a half day, Sunday is a full day off.
Oh, I'm not sure how the COVID situation was over there, but how did you balance, trying to stay fit during that period of time, probably when you couldn't go on court and, trying to keep that motivation up?
Actually, if you were to ask me, I would say that probably this period of time this pandemic has been one of not one of the, it has been the most hardest part of this career
Yeah.
because it's just impacted us so much. Not only for our tournaments, like we come out of tournament for like I say 9 months, 10 months, probably a year. We have been out of tournament previously, and then we have this lockdown in Malaysia in the beginning of 2020. Lockdown was like 3 months, so we all just like stayed at home, no court training. Every day was just physical fitness training at home with our coaches over Zoom. So it was just really, really boring actually, like every day doing the same thing over and over again. Staying at home, nothing to do. And that wasn't the hardest part, I would say. It was during our tournaments, we had to like quarantine. So that's the hardest part for us, not being able to like train on court. No proper training equipments for us to like maintain our physical. So our training are usually in a room for a few days, a week, 4 or 5 days or so before tournament. So that's the hardest part, like to keep yourself motivated to go on every day. You know, in the room, it's just a very small area. You have your bed, you have your food. So it's like, it's just double the trouble. And then like to get yourself up to train, it's just something really, really tough. And one more thing is that we go through like 7 days quarantine and there's no court training at all. So when you finish that quarantine, you have to like start all over again. With your court and your physical. So it's like training to this level and then stop and then going back up, like pushing yourself back up and then coming back down and go. So it's like it keeps going on like that. So it's actually a very hard challenge for us.
And then I feel like the quarantine will be with badminton and other sports for a while, because you know other countries are seeing surges with the number of cases and so on. So it will be very difficult. And I heard you mention also you know, with the quarantining and working out in the hotel rooms. How was your experience earlier in January in Thailand when you had the 3 tournaments?
Actually Thailand was fine because we were allowed to train on the first week of our quarantine. So technically we went upon arrival, you get the test and then you wait for the results. And then we get to train like an hour every day. So quarantine in the room was like 2 days or so, and then we get to train. So that was actually that was fine. It was after Thailand Open when I got back to Malaysia, and then we had to like have a 7 days full quarantine in the room. That was the hardest because you just have to like work out every day in the room, finding different routines to do, workout programs to do. So that was like the hardest part. Because in Thailand, actually, we get to like train on court, we get to play. So it was it was like so much better.
And then how like have you gotten used to the COVID testers yet? You know, haven't to
no. I'm never gonna get used to that. And like every time I'm about to go for the test and my heart is like it's like beating. And then when I see just that stick, I'm like, oh, okay, there it goes again. And then it goes in. I'm okay with the throat part. It's just the nose part. It just sucks.
I saw a lot of players, you know, they were recording it. And I see you all got a lot of testing in Thailand and other tournaments.
Every tournament actually now. I think since last year in March until now, I had like maybe 25, 26 tests already. 25 to 26 tests done. I think maybe more than that. I just lost count of it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just scary. The tests are just scary. So you have been like staying home all this while, or?
Yeah, the Trinidad and Tobago government, they gave the okay for like national sports to resume, and Trinidad has been in a lockdown since March last year, I think, and I haven't traveled to any tournament since 2019, so I've been home since March, and then I started training again for a few months, but leading up to now, I haven't trained in about, I don't know, 3 or 4 months. So I haven't been out much. So it's just basically home, and I've been doing workouts at home and stuff. So yeah.
Okay, it's tough. It's
Yeah.
really tough to work out at home, especially when you're alone and then you don't have like the facilities, the equipments to help you with. And you don't get to go on court. That's like the hardest part.
Yeah. That's the hardest part, because even before like the pandemic, one of the hardest things that I struggled with was like losing my touch. So like if I
Definitely.
so if I don't play for like 2 days, it always felt like I would have to start from scratch. So I can't imagine the day that I step on court again. It's gonna be really
You will
bad.
need you will need some time to get back on court.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we were in last year. After the lockdown, like 3 months, we got back on court. The first week was just hell. Like my whole body ached so, and it was so sore. It was aching so badly, and I thought if all the training at home didn't work at all.
Yeah. Yeah, that is how I feel as well. And then too, right now, I feel like I've hit a rut, because I'm losing motivation more than usual. Like I'm usually really motivated to train and so on, but now I struggle to even do one workout a day. But I know I have to do it. So
it's really hard when you're you're on your own.
Yeah.
But you do have like internet access all the time, right?
Yeah.
Like free to access. So how do you do your workouts?
Since the pandemic started, I got a lot more into like jump rope and stuff like that. So there are usually a lot of videos with like intense jump rope workouts that I follow. And then to talking with coaches and so on, as to like setting up my day. So like, okay, let's say on Monday I do like badminton specific training with in terms of agility or plyo and stuff, or footwork, and I do it in sort of blocks. So like, let's say 90 minutes for that, and then in the afternoon I'll train for another 90 minutes. And yeah, that's how I set it up, with like a 1 day off or something like that.
So that has been working out fine so far?
Yeah, actually it's worked out really well last year, and I feel like since 2021 started, I don't know, like my mind is not adjusting to going through this for like, let's say, another year. Because there's no
I get that.
activity. Yeah, there's no activity right now in Trinidad, especially with tournaments. Like I'm losing a lot of motivation because I'm working out, but there's nothing really to work towards.
There's no goal to work
Yeah.
towards. Yeah, I get that. Like my friends, especially our junior players, they felt that way because there were no tournaments for them as well. The 2020 and 2021, beginning of 2021.
Yeah.
They had like the same feedback to me, and then said like they're losing motivation as well.
Yeah.
It's normal, I think, because you've been doing the same thing like for so long, and then there's nothing to work towards.
Yeah. Right before the pandemic, let's say December 2019 towards the beginning of March 2020, I was training really hard because in terms of getting finances to travel to a few more tournaments in 2020, I was really looking forward to that. So I was training abroad, well, in the US, prepping for those tournaments. And then as soon as I came back home, we were supposed to have nationals the next week, but that was the same time, let's say, that we had restrictions and were heading into lockdown. So it was like going from all of this training to a complete halt.
Stop.
So that was really hard.
Yeah. That's really hard for us players actually, because we train every day and we are so seasoned to train, and then like a complete halt to that will definitely like just stop like your motivation to continue on stuff. Yeah, it's been really tough time, I think, for so many out there. But we just have to like probably look forward like that tournaments will definitely resume, but it's just have to at the meantime like do what you can. And I would say like you can't like stop training entirely, but you can't push yourself too much as well, because you would like kind of like burn out after a while. You get bored, you get tired of it. So that kind of like balance that both, not stopping too much and not pushing too much. Just enough to keep your body going will be good enough.
Yeah. And then too, I think that was the whole point of the series as well, because I really needed some encouragement, and I was also on an interview, and after the interview, I got to ask the coach a lot of questions as well. And I thought it would be a really good idea to, get different perspectives from athletes and coaches from different walks of life. And it's been at least a somewhat encouraging part to my day from, having being demotivated all the time. So, yeah.
It's a very good idea from you actually. Like, and then these videos are being shared on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
So like players from all around the world can like actually get hold of this and probably like know that we all are facing almost the same like situations around the world, so that they don't feel like they are alone facing this alone. So like everyone's like having the same problem, and it's like just to see others still being able to do it, and then you're like, okay, I can do it, I still can do it.
And then too, it's really comforting, some of these stories that you already gave, in terms of, let's say, being a perfectionist and so on, that really resonated with me. So it's like, okay, you're number 12 in the world and you still struggle with these internal issues. So yeah, it's really good to hear.
I'm glad. I mean, I think a lot of them would probably be that way because you just want so much, you expect so much from yourself, which then will like push you forward. So it's not something that it's negative, but you just got to like really balance it well and not let it become something negative.
Yeah, that's good. And well, I know I probably went off script a bit there,
It's okay.
but in terms of you being on the world tour, who do you think so far has been your toughest opponents in mixed doubles?
For me, I think it would be the China players, the world number one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Indonesians as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but I still feel like the China players are one the hardest competitive. Opponents so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What has been your favorite part of traveling and being on the world tour?
Mm, being in different countries. And then secondly is like different countries, like having different environment, different setup, and also different weather. And next there was like food as well,
Yeah.
because I love food and just like to like go everywhere and try different sort of food. And then the next would be like the best part is being able to travel and do something I love, like be playing sports and traveling. I think
Yeah.
that would be so many would like kill to be in that position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I, I heard you touch on food a bit. I'm a big foodie as well. So, what's your favorite type of food or dish?
I love Japanese food, Western as well.
Yeah.
Um, Jap- Japanese food, I would love like the beef, especially.
Yeah.
mm, the rice as well, I would say. Yeah.
Okay. Um, and in terms of uh being a part of Team Malaysia, what is your favorite part of representing your country?
Uh, to be like on the podium, like when I win, and then to be on the podium, with my country's flag is like a really proud moment. Like, I believe like that moment that my fellow countrymen be like really proud, and that will be like celebrating together with me and my partner, and it will like just bring so much happiness to my own country, my own Malaysians at home.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's like accomplishment, a feeling of accomplishment for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's like the best part of it. And to be able to like be the minority of the country, to represent the country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I know that Malaysia is a badminton a very driven badminton country. I
Yeah.
always, yeah, anytime I think of badminton, I think about, let's say, China, Malaysia, and Indonesia, because, the crowds there in Indonesia is like very electrifying.
Insane.
Yeah.
Yes, correct. Yeah, I think the crowds in Indonesia are the loudest by far.
Yeah. Yeah, and even just from me watching it on TV, I feel like it's still a different atmosphere because
Different
I'm like it's never so loud in other countries.
other countries. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're the loudest crowd, and I think would say one of the biggest crowd in any badminton tournaments. And it's so loud that even like my partner is like standing next to me, and we can't like speak normally. We have to
Wow.
like shout in each other's ears to be able to like hear what we are trying to say. Yeah, but it's like like you said, it's like very electrifying feeling. Like, oh, you just feel so, your spirits just like so lifted to
Yeah.
be in front of so many people. Yeah.
Yeah. I would one day hope to be a part of that crowd and like experience it in real time.
Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be a very good experience.
Yeah.
You can't hear the shuttle. You can't hear yourself hitting the shuttle.
Wow.
And yeah, it has like a very big impact actually when you play with such crowd, such noise,
Yeah.
the wind, the atmosphere. It's everything is just different compared to like other tournaments.
Yeah, and is the Istora stadium is
So yes,
it's windy conditions as well.
yes, correct. Because it has air conditioning,
Oh,
and
okay.
the amount of spectators every day varies. Sometimes there are more, sometimes there are less. Yeah, and the crowd. I mean, uh, the noise and everything. It makes a very big impact on like your gameplay.
Oh, okay. And stemming from that, what has been your best or most memorable tournament experience?
I would say the All England in 2019.
Okay.
Because my first All England was in 2018, and I got the German Open champ 1 week before, and then
Yeah.
moving on to All England, I lost in the first round. It was a really like, below average performance game. Played really badly because to us it's like our first time being to a very prestigious tournament, and
Yeah.
then nerves and everything, and especially coming from a title the week before. So I think my side, it gave me more pressure to perform even better. Um, and then in 2019, I was like having so much anxiety that I don't want to like repeat the same mistakes again into like I did in 2018.
Yeah.
And then I made it into the semifinals in that year. And then
Indeed.
like the most memorable was like the start of the game when they call our names to like enter the court, and then it's just like the whole atmosphere, the whole environment was like so different. And
Yeah.
I know that like at that moment, like my country, like there's so many people in my country like watching that match of the semifinals match, and it's just like being such a proud moment for me and my partner.
Being from Malaysia, I'm sure there's probably that added pressure because you guys are one of the best countries for badminton in the world. And well, my experience will be different because well, badminton isn't popular here, and I wouldn't have that same amount of pressure to perform and execute. So, how do you deal with the pressure on any given day?
Actually, I would say like especially this coming 2 years, the pressure has been even more because we've been trying to like qualify for the Olympics.
Yeah,
Um, and like you said, like our country is like the spotlight is on badminton, so everyone is expecting you to perform, to deliver all the time, which doesn't happen in badminton. I mean, in sports, it doesn't happen that way.
yeah,
But we've been through many tough situations, especially when we get criticized on social media, which is getting worse
yeah.
recently. Like you get really criticized really badly, private messages directly to you, like scolding, cursing, things like that. And then
Wow.
it really affects like the players' psychology, because I don't think that any players want to go in court and lose.
Yeah,
So it's like after losing, after being defeated, and then like seeing all these hate messages, um, I mean cursings, um, all this, all this coming towards you, all this negativity is just can be overwhelming at times.
yeah,
So I think the past 1 year, the most important lesson I've learned is like um, I won't go on social media after I lose any matches.
yeah.
That's the first
Good
lesson.
plan.
And then the second lesson will be like, if I want to go on to social media, I have to be like ready, like, okay, be ready that I have to accept I've lost, and there will be like hate messages coming in.
Yeah.
And then other than social media, if you were to say like pressure from maybe the media, from the public,
Yeah.
I would say that it's still back to our mindset, like how we want to look at that situation, how we want to face that situation.
Yeah.
The pressure is definitely going to be there. It's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to disappear. So
Yeah.
the only thing is like I can do is to prepare myself better every time. Be more accepting of myself, especially when on our bad days, and to know that that pressure is like, okay, how do I put this? Like there are people actually like watching, like wanting, expecting so much from you. So for me, I will take that as a positive sign, like I'm there, like I'm at the top, that people do look up to us, that people do expect from us. So it's something good as compared to like if you would say it to something bad. So I think that would like take off the pressure a bit, and also trying to enjoy the game more.
Yeah.
I play because I have passion for badminton.
Yeah. And then too, I've heard some other players from Malaysia as well mention that sort of pressure. Like, well, everyone knew of Lee Chong Wei, and well, now more recently, Lizzie Jia, expressing it. I think it was for probably the interview from the Olympic Channel or something like that, and I imagine it can be very damaging. Like if you're not prepared for it, for seeing the hate messages and so on.
It means like not the best channel to be on during tournaments, kind of thing. Yeah. Actually, that's a good question. Like I've actually like tried to turn myself off social media during tournaments.
Yeah.
It does help, but it won't last for a very long time because
Yeah.
the entire I would say world works around social media these days. You
Yeah.
can't like get isolated entirely from it. So I would say like I've like tried to change and learn how to overcome that. Like instead of like avoiding it, which
Yeah.
I still do at times. I still do avoid when necessary, but I don't like entirely shut off from social media. So what I tell myself, like, okay, probably I would like avoid reading those hate messages, but at the same time, when I go on social media, I tell myself like, okay, this is something that I'll take it as educating myself. Like
Yeah.
probably some comments, some advices would be something for me to learn.
Yeah.
And I would take like social media as something that it's for me to learn rather than something negative. So
Yeah.
I would like probably tune in more to like motivational people, like athletes. I follow athletes more, so like I have more insight of their lives and like how they handle these situations and stuff, and
Yeah.
then how athletes support each other.
Yeah.
So I think that way it will help like uh, reduce the negativity impact from social media.
Yeah. And I guess too, it's all about the social media or the platform really that you create, following the
Yes,
right people, and
yes. The choices you make on social media. Yeah.
yeah. Well, now we're gonna jump back into a couple more of the questions. I think we're probably over the time, but
It's okay. Okay, it's okay.
okay, cool. One of the questions I got was any favorite hobbies you have outside of badminton that helps you to relax or decompress?
I love watching movies and also reading.
Yeah.
So I feel like these two activities actually, and I love massages. uh, like actually, because this three activity, I wouldn't say activity, I would say like pastime. It's
Yeah.
like they are really like just quiet, alone, and there's no like distractions or um like something that I will have to think about. So it's
Yeah.
just like totally relax and have like my own time and just like, how do I say, disengage from the world for a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. And any new hobbies that you've taken up since the pandemic?
Um, Actually, not any serious hobby. I've started TikTok for a bit in during the pandemic, like for that 3 months. But
Yeah.
after that, training we had our training started back again in June, so everything was like back to full training schedules and then tournament. So not any special hobbies that I've gotten into. It's just some extra social media stuff.
Some people want to know like what's next on your agenda. Well, let's say badminton wise, what's on the calendar next for you? Any goals you're working towards right now?
Oh, I'm actually still having to chase up in my world, in the Olympic qualification points.
Yeah.
So I'm still eligible to qualify, but I have some points to collect in order to qualify. And so my next goal will be the Malaysian Open and also the Singapore Open in May.
Yeah.
So that will be the last two remaining tournaments for me and my partner to get the points that we need to qualify. So that right now is our goal, just to qualify for the Olympics, to do well in the two tournaments.
Okay. And how was the Olympic qualification period for you? I know a lot of people say it's stressful and uh say different things. So how was that experience for you?
Stressful, yes, actually it was, because in our country we have like three actually, three pairings fighting for two spots.
Oh,
And
okay.
in order for two to qualify, both have to be in the top eight. So it's actually a very tough challenge for us to like get to the top eight. It's
Okay.
like you must be in the top eight to qualify for two pairs. And we already have one pair in the number 7 at the moment. So the three of us have been like trying our best to get as much points as possible. So that has been like a real challenge for us internally, and then so externally with the other countries, because I see mixed doubles these days. Other countries, especially the Europeans, they are like improving a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the competition in mixed doubles is just like getting harder and harder um, for
Yeah.
for for all of us. Yeah. So especially in Olympic qualification period, everyone is like doubling the effort, doubling the whatever they're doing to get there, to qualify, to win.
Yeah.
So every tournament, everyone is like eyeing on the prize, like I want that, I need that, I need to get there. Yeah. So it's just the amount of pressure and stress, and to deliver is just extra compared to non-Olympic qualification periods.
Yeah. And this question just popped into my head, but what are you most looking forward to for the Tokyo 2021 Olympics? Like apart from badminton and wanting to perform well.
I think definitely the Olympic Village, because this will be, if I were to qualify, this will be my first qualification for the Olympics.
Okay.
Um, Definitely the Olympic Village, the entire setup, and especially in this situation where it's different, the pandemic and all. So
Yeah.
I think that it will be like extra different compared to the previous Olympics.
Yeah.
And also is because it's in Tokyo. Tokyo is such a great place to be in. And I think they will be like doing a very good job to hold this Olympic. So yeah, it's just a lot of expectation on them as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, also like meeting a lot of top players and athletes from other sports.
Yeah.
Yeah, really looking forward for that.
Any athletes outside of badminton in particular you would like to meet at the Olympics?
um, Not anyone, but not anyone in specific. But I would like to like really to meet tennis stars
Yeah.
in the Olympics. Yeah, actually any one of them would do. Like I just like to like have like
Like,
face to face.
yeah.
Yeah, actually like see them there.
Okay, so thank you so much, Shevon, for hopping onto the channel and having a chat with me. I really liked this conversation.
No problem. You're most welcome. I was
And
quite surprised the other day to get your email. Actually, I'm like, oh, okay. I read through it. I'm like, okay. Why not?
yeah, I was a bit nervous sending out that email.
But how did you get my email anyway?
Oh, through your Instagram.
Oh,
I,
they do publish my email?
I saw like underneath your bio, I saw like, well,
Oh, okay.
following and yeah.
Oh, I didn't notice that. Like, actually can see my. Oh, probably I don't see my own.
Yeah, I know some players put up their emails. So
Oh. Okay, now I understand.
yeah, because I know sometimes you players don't read the DMs, so I'm like, okay,
Okay.
yeah.
I do actually. I read like most of them.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, thanks for hopping on and any last thoughts or words of encouragement to athletes during this difficult period?
Mm, Probably I can just like add in like to everyone out there, you're not alone like in this period. I think everyone is facing a really tough time now, and everyone is hoping that things will like get back to normal as soon as possible.
Yeah.
But whatever the outcome is like always remember that you're not alone. If you need help, like always, you can always like shout out to ask for help from your friends, from your families. Yeah, and I believe that there's definitely someone out there that will be able to help.
Okay. And if anyone who wants to follow your journey or see updates from you, where can they find you?
My Instagram, I'm very active on my Instagram. Yeah, so they can follow me on my Instagram, and most of my activities will be up there.
Okay. Your Instagram down in the description box below. What is your Instagram handle?
Shevon Lai, I think. Yeah, Shevon Lai.
Okay. And thanks everyone who's gonna watch this video, and I hope that you can take something away from it and hopefully be encouraged, and I'll see you guys for the next episode. Thanks.
That's well taken. Right. Yeah, she anticipated well again.
She did.